We're very proud of that. We're very honored to have our youth present. Let me introduce to you Phil Ortega, who will be facilitating this. It's kind of like a one-person dropout retrieval program. He's done a wonderful job. He's agreed to facilitate this part of our agenda. Phil, take over.
Thank you, Ron. Good morning, and thank you for being here today. This next part of our agenda, it gives the student panel an opportunity to possibly give us some solutions to the things that we're dealing with every day. Introduce yourselves and where you are in your career and what you plan on doing in the near future.
Good morning, my name is Cesar Flores. I was born and raised in Medford. I went through the Phoenix Talent School District. My whole family went through the Phoenix Talent School District. There's 7 of us. And I began my educational journey after Phoenix High School at Rogue Community College. And after Rogue Community College, I transferred to the University of Oregon. And now I'm a graduate student at Northwest Christian University in the Masters of School Counseling program. Also, currently I work for Trio Talent Search. It's a pre-college program that helps students who are their first in their family and low-income students go on to college. So that's what I do currently.
Good morning, my name is Larissa Medina. I graduated from North Medford High School. I've been with the Medford School District since I was 12. I came from the Bay Area. I'm currently in my junior year of nursing school at OHSU. And I also work at Kids Unlimited, which I really believe that this program makes a huge difference in really bridging the achievement gap, as our keynote speaker was talking about, because we really provide opportunities for kids through mentoring, through homework assistance, and just empowering them, which is our mission statement, empowering kids through opportunity, and is really what I think we're all here for. So thanks.
Hi, my name is Filiberto Bencomo. I came here about 10 years ago. And I started as a non-English speaker, so I had to go to the hoops to graduate from high school and graduate from college. I graduated in 2003 from Southern Oregon University. I started working with the Hispanic Academic Outreach Program run by Charlie Bauer. I was also working as a personal trainer and fitness specialist, that's what it was called, at the YMCA. Right now I'm in a transition to become the Latino Programs Coordinator here at RCC. So,
hello, my name is Marco Ayala, and I was born in Mexico. I'm 18 years old. I just graduated from high school, South Medford High School, and right now I'm attending RCC. Like it.
I have one. My name is Rocio Mendoza. I was born and raised here. I went through the Medford school districts, and the schools I attended were McLaughlin and South Medford High School. I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger sisters who have also gone through the Medford schools. I have one sister who is now in college. She's at OIT in, I think, an MIT program. I'm not sure the exact name. And I have another younger sister who is 13, and she's currently in McLaughlin. I am right now in my senior year, the nursing program that is offered at SOU.
Hello everybody, thank you for coming. My name is Jesse Gutierrez. I am 21 years old. I work for Joy Construction. I'm on the concrete crew. I'm also on the safety committee to help translate for our Latinos, because there's a lot of Latinos that don't know quite a bit about the safety rules, so I'm there to enforce them. I'm also one of the accident investigators for Joy Construction. I got my all structures residential contractor's license in 2007 to do concrete work on the side with my father and help out my family as well. I purchased my own home at the age of 20 years old. I'm working on my 2-year associate's degree in construction management, and I currently saw that there was an opportunity to be a police officer, so I applied. I hope I get it so there's more Latino law enforcement and to make a change in our community like we're trying to make a change today. And I also coach a soccer girls team for the city of Medford.
as you can see, our panel is a great achievements by our young kids in our communities. We're going to start with Rocio. Rocio, I'm going to ask you some questions. You have some time to respond. And panel, after she responds, you're welcome to step in and fill in your 2 cents. Rocio, go back when you were in middle school. Did you participate in any programs that helped you transition from middle school into high school that were positive? And the second part of that question would be, what kinds of programs would you have liked to have participated in?
Okay. No, I did not. I didn't participate in any after-school programs, clubs, sports. But it wasn't because I didn't want to. I feel that it was because I didn't know if there was anything out there that I was able to participate in, if there were opportunities for me. And at that age, it was much less likely that my parents would know of any opportunities that were available for me, after school programs or clubs that I was able to involve, that I could have involved myself with. But, you know, las ganas no me faltaban de ser parte de un programa. I would have loved to be a part of an after school program or some kind of sport. I know that one of the reasons why I might have not been able to know about these opportunities is because my parents had a language barrier, and it was difficult for them to know of any activities going on, you know, throughout my school. I would have also liked to be a part of some kind of summer youth program, because now I've been a part of a program during the summertime. It's called Academia Latina, where middle school students, and I know some high school students, I think it's freshmen and maybe sophomores, are able to come to SOU, stay for a whole week, experience what college is like. And I feel that if I would have had the opportunity to be a part of something like that, I would have overcome my fear of being in a college environment. It would have been easier for me to transition from middle school to high school or high school to college. Just because it helped me feel comfortable in that environment. And I see that these students now, you know, they go, stay for a week, they experience what college is like. They go to these classes, they have mentors, they have people who they can go to. And I know that...
Thank you, Rocio, for the response. Thank you. Jesse, your turn. Think back when you were a freshman entering high school. How involved were your parents in your education? And second part of that question is, what could we, school staff, do to improve communication between school and parents?
Okay, well, Phil, I'm going to start off by, telling you a little bit about, my family, and letting everyone know here, my parents are, two illegal immigrants. Obviously, a whole bunch of our families pretty much are. And they came here to the United States. My parents finished, I want to say, 3rd grade at the highest. Their English, isn't the best. And they, I'm real proud of, everything that they have done for us, because my dad never met his, father, mother. He was actually a mistake. He was supposed to be born, but he was, and he did such a great job on leading me and helping me out. So I'm very proud of my family. And so, my first experience was when I attended Roosevelt Elementary, and I was in 1st grade. I had just gotten here from Bakersfield, California. My family moved away because we didn't want any gang violence and wanted to help my brothers, be in a better community. Had an uncle here. So I went to Roosevelt Elementary. And I want to say that, I really want you guys to pay attention and listen to what I'm about to say, because this has traveled with me, and it still will, and this will not happen to any of my children when I have children. And it was because of the simple fact of miscommunication. When I attended Roosevelt Elementary, there was myself and another student that were Hispanic, and Mrs. R always made I felt as if she was really racist towards me. I know you guys hear that a lot, oh, it's just another kid talking about racism, but this happened to me, and this is real, and this is life, and I'm here and speaking about it. When I was in her class, anytime I were to speak Spanish with my classmate, she would always sit me in a corner, point it out to the class, and the class would pretty much laugh at us. Twice, not once, but twice, did I ask to go to the restroom, and did she not let me go, and I urinated in my pants. Twice. And every time we went to lunch, I was never able to pick my own food. She would always pick it. I don't know if someone told her I was on a diet or something, but she would always pick food for me. I always wanted a slice of pizza, and the little kid couldn't get it just because the teacher wouldn't let him. My parents, I would tell them about it, I would cry, but, due to no one being there to translate for them, to help them out, my dad, his solution was, let's just get him out of the school and transfer him to another one. But that's something that I will never forget. So I went to Jackson Elementary, and I have always had that in my mind, and that kind of helped me. That kind of kept a grudge, and I never really opened up to a lot of teachers during elementary because of it. And so anytime I had a problem, I wouldn't want to talk. So when I went to South Medford High School, obviously my parents, not because they didn't want to, but because they weren't the best English speakers, never really went to any of my open houses, never saw any of my drawings. Why? Because there was no one there to talk to them and explain to them. My parents don't even know how to read a report card, They don't know what A, B, C, D stands for. They just know, mijo, if you're doing good, let's do it. And that's all they know, and they count on their little boy to, do his best. Not because they don't want to, but because there's no one there to educate them and help them out. So when I went to South Medford, Phil, to answer your question, it was very confusing just because I had no one to ask to. My parents did, my brothers, my two older brothers didn't graduate. They made bad choices their whole life. And the only thing that they told me is don't be like me. What does that mean, to a freshman? Don't be like me. You would think that the older brothers are going to sit there and tell the little brother, hey, little brother, go to school, 4.0 GPA, take all your classes, prereqs, get it all done freshman, sophomore year, make it happen. It's going to make it easier for you. I had no one to talk to. They just said, don't be like me. Not that I know anything about FAFSA, I didn't know anything about scholarships, about any opportunity. So I was lost, yeah. I was very confused. My parents were confused. I don't even think they came to me when I registered. I just brought the paperwork home, they signed it, and I went back to school and started school. So, yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna follow a question with Jesse because I want to challenge him a little bit. Jesse, obviously you struggled in your elementary school, struggled a little bit in high school. You're doing very well right now. You have your contractor's license, you've made good choices. Who or what has guided that success for you?
Okay. Well, I want to show you guys something that I brought. A little backup. And when I was a freshman and sophomore, ladies and gentlemen, I did terrible. I was no angel. I wasn't the way I am today. And because of all the people that have, and I will mention who has helped me, I am what I am today. But this is an article, my senior year, that the Mail Tribune did on me, front page, saying that I was a turnback kid because there was no possibility that I was going to graduate. My freshman, sophomore year, I had 0 credits. I didn't want to go to school. I was just not doing good at all. I was always skipping class, hanging out with the wrong people. And it's just because, I simply felt like there was no one really, to help me out. I had that grudge, on the teacher from Roosevelt Elementary, so when other teachers wanted to open up to me, I kind of didn't want to, and that was real hard for me. So, the teachers that I saw, help me out and, were there for me, I want to say, my parents never lost faith in me. Regardless if they were there for me, they always, backed me up and said, do your best. And that always meant something because a lot of kids don't even have that. And I did, so I'm thankful for that. Miss Barbara McCormick from South Medford High School. Man, is that lady a trooper. I love that lady. That lady was always there with me. I remember being in her classroom, in her office freshman year, telling her, hey, I don't want to go to school, I want to work. Can you help me find a job? I want to drop out. This ain't for me. This might be for all these other kids, but not me. And she would always say, Jesse, you're not going to drop out, I believe in you. And how can she say that to me? She doesn't even know me. She's sitting there telling me, a stranger, I believe in you. I want you to succeed. You know how good that makes a freshman feel when they feel lost? That makes them feel wonderful. And thank you to Ms. Barbara McCormick because she always set a game plan for me. Junior year, she said, Jesse, you need this much. It's going to be impossible, but you can do it. So, we got it together and I did it. Mrs. Snow Mountain was always there, helping me out, telling me, Jesse, don't make the same mistakes your brothers did. My brothers went to school with her and she was trying to help them out, but obviously they made the wrong choices, but I'm not my brothers, I'm my own person, and I made the right choices, and now they're looking at the little brother, asking them what to do. So, Mrs. Snow Mountain was always there helping me and helped me get respect by, showing people I can give respect by being someone. Mr. Felipe Ortega himself, this gentleman, helped me stay away from all the bad influences, helped me keep my motivation high, would take me to his home, invite me, take me out to dinner. That's the type of people we need. People like that care, that show that they want us to succeed. So when I was, there with him, and he would tell me, Jesse, don't hang out with these kids, they're bad for you. Not that he was putting them down, because he was, obviously had a game plan to help everyone out, but he was concentrating on me. And he was helping me, and he was a big part of it. And I really respect you, Phil, and I give you the opportunity. I want to give you the congrats for being there for me, man. And I appreciate it. I'm not done. I'm not done. A lot of teachers, I'm not going to say any names, but I do remember a lot of faces, and a lot of them did tell me, you're just going to be another school dropout. You ain't going to do nothing. You're not going to graduate. And that was at South Medford High School that happened to me. But, I also had Mrs. Reese, which is in the back audience. She was always there trying to call my parents, always there, talking to me about my absences, and she always, regardless as little as that sounds, but she did such a big part, because that always kept that in the back of your head. You need to come to class, you need to come to class. So thank you, Mrs. Reese, too. And my English teacher, Mr. Massey, he never gave up on me. He said, you know what, Jesse, you're such a wonderful speaker, and I really want you to succeed. I would turn something in, it was a C, he would make it an A. So I thank him, and outside of school.
I want to take a step back and talk to Filiberto here. Filiberto, when you introduced yourself, you said you were a newcomer 10 years ago, correct? That must be kind of scary to start somewhere brand new. All right, tell us that story, please.
All right. Okay. Just wanted to talk to you. I'm from Ciudad Juarez, Chihuahua. I don't know if you heard about it. There's a lot of killings over there going on right now. The mob is really big. So my dad, who moved here to Medford about 24 years ago, I wasn't even born, he was already here working, to provide for us over there. My parents decided, let's get out of there. It's not a good place for our kids. Okay, they brought us over here. I was in middle school over there. I came here to McLaughlin, not knowing anything, nothing. Not the language, not the culture, not the way the school works, nobody. With my raggedy clothes from Goodwill, used shoes. I didn't know anything. I had Mrs. Duca and 2 other teachers. You know her. That was it. I got lost, like the first month I was lost in that school, because it's indoor. Over there in Mexico, it's outdoor. It's one class and, it's like 3 buildings, that's it. Right here, it was a huge building. It's like a maze. So, I didn't know anything. Over there, in order to pass to the next level, you have to, pass your classes. Over here, I can do kind of good and I'll still get to high school. Over there, you have to apply to go to a middle school, and you have to apply to go to high school. My parents always told me, go to school, go to school, go to school. Don't care what you do, go to school. School's, good for you. Okay, what do I have in my head? Go to school, go to school, go to school. Okay? So, my parents helped me a lot. My mom. I'm scared of my mom more than anybody in this world. I did wrestling, I did boxing, I did cage fighting, I did anything but. My mom raises her voice. You know my mom. You know her too. So, she always kept me in track. And again, going back to the story. Okay, I was maybe 6 months in middle school. Boom, high school. Another new thing. What happened? Just, again, got lost the first month. I don't know what was going on. My whole freshman year, C's. Straight C's. Did not know a word of English. You know who took me in? Mrs. No. Where is she? Is she? Right there. Mrs. No. She kept me in track. Mr. Torres. Yeah. So they're really, really great people. And this is coming from my heart. And, they always kept faith in me, Because they told me, you're going to do great. Just like Jesse. You're going to do great. You're going to do great things. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, sure. We're going through. Yeah, see what happens. But then, junior year comes in, and you gotta get ready for college. Okay, sure, all right. And senior year, you gotta take your FAFSA. What's a FAFSA? What's a SAT? Okay, I took the SAT. It's a blur to me. I didn't know what it was. I did the PSAT and it was the same thing. I didn't know how to read the scores, nothing. And I was still barely trying to speak English. Right now you can tell by my accent that I'm still learning. So, another person that came in to guide me, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't know about college. Andres Jorreitas. So, I had great people to guide me, but not a lot of people have that. Okay, I went to college. Thanks to him, he got me to the right track. I got a full ride scholarship, to go to SOU. I was in SOU, still learning English. Had to take extra English classes to be able to keep up with my peers who were native English speakers. And, just graduated from college. That was it. But, if it wasn't for them, I don't know where I would be. My parents, just to tell you a little bit about my parents, my dad works in Los Pinos, forestry. My mom worked at Bear Creek, humble people. My dad, who got hurt, he has a sciatic nerve pinch, couldn't work for a whole year. I was working for him in Los Pinos. I told my parents, I'll drop out, I'll help you. They said, no, go to school. You can help us out more if you go to school. What I did, I go to school and I have a great life. I made a career of something that I liked, health and physical education. And now I'm the Latino Programs Coordinator, and everything through just people that helped me, that made a difference in my life.
Okay, thank you. Moving on, I'm going to start, we'll go with Marco here. Marco, you ready? Now, we had a dinner last night, and I've never met Marco before, and he is passionate. He wants to help his younger brother avoid the bumps in the road that he did, that he went through. So Marco, do you feel that when you graduated from high school, that you had acquired the necessary skills to be successful in college?
No. No. Why? I'm 18 years old. I was born in Mexico. I lived in Mexico until the age of 15, almost 16. I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore in high school, and I was doing well. Had good grades, hard classes, and that was like the moment where I said, "Oh my goodness, high school is hard." Why? Because the classes were harder. Were hard, And well, when I came to USA, I immediately enrolled high school. I started taking classes that I had already taken in Mexico, like algebra. I mean, I was a sophomore. It was the third quarter, sophomore year, and I was taking pre-algebra. I was taking really basic classes, English shelter. What else did I take? Physical education. And then when I was completely lost. I had no idea how was high school here in the USA. I was lost. I had no friends. I had no one. And then my junior year, I was like really surprised. Why? Because I was gonna take the same classes that I took during my sophomore year, pre-algebra, like super basic classes. What I did, I went to the and what she said, she was like, well, because you came from Mexico and we don't really know what you were taking, you will have to take these classes and you're going to spend the next 5 years of your life, like here at top, you're gonna spend 5 years right here. So, well, I was mad. I was mad. I was like, whoa, why? You know, she said, that's how it is. You know, I can do nothing. And I know she wasn't able to do whatever I was telling her to do, you know. So I start talking to my teachers, my math teachers, and just told them, you know what, this is just too easy. In Mexico, I was taking something like algebra 2 or something like that. And right now I'm taking pre-algebra. I'm ready to go to the next level. I had a really hard time, you know, talking to my teachers about my life in Mexico, that I was good enough to be in harder classes. Then, and because I didn't have the chance to challenge myself, I just spent almost 3 years in high school taking classes that I didn't need it, that I wasn't supposed to be taking. Then I graduated from high school. I really like school. I wanna be successful. I think school is the best investment, you know. And when I decided to okay, I said, yeah, I'm gonna go to college. And they said, well, you're ready. I had a really my junior year, I did a lot. Like I was saying, I took a lot of classes, and finally I got my 24 credits. I graduated. I decided to go to college. Dres, he helped me a lot. Because of him, I'm going to RCC. I got scholarships, and I'm taking. And because I didn't have classes that were gonna prepare me for college, I'm taking really basic classes again, because I couldn't score high to take high-level math. So I feel like it makes me feel like I'm spending my financial aid on classes that I don't really have to be taking, you know. So it's really hard. It's really hard. It's hard.
Thank you, Marco. Thank you. I'm going to defer the question to Cesar Flores, because working with TRIO, in your experience, were the classes offered to most of our students in high school relevant to what they were studying in college?
I'm going to touch a little bit on a personal experience. When I graduated high school with a 2.0 GPA, there was a time where I went to school to run cross country and track, and that's it. That's all I did. And a lot of my peers on the cross country and track team were honor students. So throughout our 4 years, everybody had a plan except Cesar Flores. And in fact, there was a trip we took up to Eugene, and they were drawing some pictures of everybody else, you know, and Ryan Gold, they drew a picture of him working on rocks. And he is in fact working on rocks, finishing his PhD. So that picture was true. They then drew a dead-end road, and then we're laughing, and I said, guys, who's that? And they said, Cesar, that's you. I don't know construction, but I've learned how to do construction and add to that dead-end road. So after Phoenix High School, I took a placement test at Road Community College. There was somebody that was a blessing in disguise. Her name was Sue Richardson, who helped me fill out. She said, Cesar, you're going to sit down right now, and we're going to fill out this scholarship. And I said, scholarship? I can't apply for a scholarship. I'm a 2.0 student. She said, no, it's a need-based scholarship because you come from a low-income family. So I filled out the scholarship, took a placement test at RCC, and I placed in the basic classes, reading 20, writing 10. So I had to take prerequisites for prerequisites. So I had to work my way up. It took me 6 years to finish a bachelor's degree because my first year of college was getting my skills up to college level. I still see this happening. I still see kids graduating from high school, placing into basic writing classes, like Marco touched on, and probably holes that could have been filled, but now we're filling them. We're using our scholarship money to fill in these gaps that probably could have been filled through high school.
Thank you, Joseph. Moving on, Larissa, I heard that you were a great student in high school. I heard you were on honor roll, you were in AP classes, and I'm interested in how your transition was into college. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. So I had a really different experience from everyone else here because I'm the oldest in my family. I have a sister who's 18 and she's a freshman at U of L this year, a brother who's 16 and a junior at South Medford High School, sorry, and then a little sister who's 8 and she's a second grader at White Elementary. No, White City Elementary, sorry. So I had a really different experience because I've always been a really self-motivated person, and I always saw how Jesse mentioned, you know, the effort of my parents that always motivated me to, I always saw it as my job. My parents' job was to raise me, to provide me with the basics, food and shelter, which they did, and they provided me with a lot more. But my job, I saw it as, my job is to go to school and to do something with my life so that I can later take care of them. That was always my mission, always on my mind all the time. So I always used that as a motivation. And it was really difficult because I found myself translating for them at the age of 7, you know, translating official papers that they got, translating medical papers, you know, all these, you know, rent papers. I always found myself doing all of these things that an 8-year-old shouldn't have to do, but I always found myself doing that. So I think those kind of experiences really helped me to mature faster and really helped me when I was in high school. So when I went to high school, I was involved with band, I was involved with some sports, I was in Torch Honor Society. When I graduated with every single task that you can get. I had the sim, I had the purple, the white, the gold, the basic. My hat was falling, you know, because I had so many tasks. So, but when I was a senior in high school, I don't even remember my counselor's name. I was there for 4 years, don't remember her name. I just remember that she had short hair, black, and that's all. I don't remember her name. I don't remember going into her office and me being a college-bound person, her ever approaching me as a counselor and saying, hey, I noticed that you have really good grades. I noticed that you're involved in your community. What do you plan to do? You know, this is your junior year. You should be taking the PSATs. You should be looking into colleges. You should be looking into scholarships. She never once called me into her office, and that was my assumption that she was going to do that for me. Maybe it was wrong. Maybe I should have said, hey, I need to do something for myself, but I always thought that, hey, I'm the college-bound kid, she has to come to me, right? And I never really thought about it. I never thought that if you want to go to college, you really have to prepare yourself and fill all the documentation, start your junior year, right? Or your senior year in September, October, November, December. Those are when you start filling out your scholarships and everything you need. I didn't know that until I was a freshman in college. And I found that out the hard way because when I was in graduating, everybody was like telling me, oh, I did that last year. I did this like 5 months ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, here I have a 3.7 GPA and I'm not going to college. What the heck? You know, I was really, really angry. And so I decided to go talk to the principal. I went and I talked to the people at North that were in charge, and they told me, they were basically telling me, well, we don't know what to do, you know, and thank God that I had a teacher who, his name was Mr. Plotnick, science teacher at North, who I was really in a process of grief because I thought, here's all my effort wasted. Everything, what am I going to tell my parents? You know, they expect me to go to college. That's the next step for me. And I'm like, what am I going to tell my parents? That I didn't know the process, so now I can't go to college? Or, hey, you're going to have to pay for college, when I knew at that moment in time they couldn't afford to. So I talked to Mr. Plotnick about it, and he was always a person all of my teachers were always people who motivated me and who always said, yeah, you know, you can do it, you're smart enough, whatever. They always gave me motivation. But he was only one who really took it farther. And he said, I can't believe you're not going to college. I'm going to help you find scholarships. It's not too late, Larissa, calm down. He helped me write my scholarship essays. He helped me make a diagram of my freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, everything I did, all my community involvement. And then he connected me to a person that I will be indebted to my whole life, I think, to Pedro Cabrera, who I love and respect because he took me in, he saw me, and he saw my despair, and he said, Larissa, I have a scholarship just for you, right here. And I mean, it was mine, you know. He's like, this is your scholarship, come to Grove Community College. It wasn't the start that I was expecting, and it was a really humbling process for me, I think, but it really helped me grow as a person, and also helped me to be an advocate for myself. And I just thank him so much because he gave me that scholarship, and he immediately identified me and said, Larissa, you're a leader, come over here, you're going to be in Club Latino. Larissa, next year you're going to be the president of this club. Larissa, next year you're going to do this. And I was like, Pedro, calm down, you don't even know me. Like, you know, and he was just like, Larissa, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this. You know, and then through being the president of Club Latino, I got in contact with Kids Unlimited, which is another organization that I love and that I think is really on track to what we're trying to get to accomplished here. You know, they target towards those kids who are mainly Latino speakers, who live in West Medford, the most impoverished area here, and they really focus on them, on their families, and on getting the message across that bridging the gap, you know, empowering kids through opportunity, saying, it's never too late. Where you come from, if you are at the low end of the scale academically, or if you're at the high, everyone has the same experiences because we all come from the same culture and we have the same limitations sometimes. But this program is great, and I encourage all of you guys to participate in it, to maybe adapt some of your programs to it and see what has worked for them, because we work with a lot of Latino population here, and we're trying to bridge the gap between the Anglo way of how the educational system has been created to maybe mold and merge into a system that is more Latino-oriented and culturally oriented, so that the Latino students, not just the Latino students, but all the students who have different cultures can really be successful here in the Valley and wherever they go.
Well, we've ran out of time, but if there's any questions out there, if you would please drop them off at the table with Mrs. Snow Mountain. We can ask the panels to send out an email to everybody that was invited and answer your questions for you. Now, before we end the session, I really want to applaud the adults that were named by the student panels. If you were identified in a student's conversation or story, please stand and be recognized. Well, we now expect a whole lot from these these kids, right? Mr. Gula was talking about, you just can't say there's a problem and not be part of the solution. We challenge you all to be in the schools now. We challenge you all to partner up with schools and be on the forefront of causing positive change where you see that need in your heart. So thank you for being here today. Round of applause, please, for our panel.